So today on Beyond the Cake, it's my pleasure to welcome a guest whose name is synonymous with polished perfection, heartfelt service, and beautifully executed weddings in Florida and beyond. Nicole Kaney, founder and creative force behind NK Productions Wedding Planning.
Thanks.
Welcome.
That was a nice intro. Thank you.
Ah. For 16 years, Nicole has been planning elegant and extraordinary celebrations in Florida, not only Sarasota, but Boca Grande and elsewhere. From intimate waterfront gatherings to black tie soirees under the stars, her events stand out for their flawless logistics, timeless design, and genuine care she pours into every detail. She's one of my favorite planners to work with and someone who continues to inspire me with her passion and precision. I'm excited to dive into your story, your creative process, and what it really takes to bring unforgettable weddings to life. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I want to ask the first question, which is pretty much the basic of the basics, which is what inspired you to start NK Productions? How did you start, and how did you end up getting into, these beautiful weddings?
Well, right out of college, I was a senior in college and I taught yoga. And I decided to open a yoga studio. And in that yoga studio, I had a lot of events there. So I had wine tastings and weekend yoga retreats and a lot of really fun, a lot of really fun events. So that kind of really drew me into loving events in general. And then I sold my studio and I moved and I worked for Whole Foods Market, the corporation, and I did a ton of events for them and it was really fun. But then I saw that there was just a need for just kind of a fresh planner in our market. And I had the experience, I had all the ties. So I decided to open my business and within the first week had a client. And really the rest is history. But I had all the foundational steps. So it worked out, really well. And I was experienced. So I knew what I was doing. I knew the right people. It just worked out really well and really hit the ground running. So that was over 16 years ago. Grown tremendously. I started by saying I wanted to plan 12 weddings a year, and that was it. And I was good with 12. And I think we've been beyond probably 20 every year, and then well into 100 every year now.
Wow. So with that said, with about, with that crazy number of weddings, 100 weddings a year, 100 events a year, how do you keep the experience personal and the level of service at such a high level for every couple or every client?
Well, I have a big team that works for me. There's 13 on the team, 5 in the office full time, and we really truly work as a team. So we're always sharing information. We're always talking about the clients. So I feel like it keeps it really personal because it's not me just trying to handle everyone, because that just wouldn't be possible, even with 20 events a year, the level of detail that we have. So being able to have everything go through me and then it gets filtered to our planners, it just keeps me in touch with everyone, all of our clients. We know the details. My team is amazing and we have file sharing programs that help so much. So I feel that allows me actually to be more detailed. And I don't work every weekend as well. And that helps so much too, because I can be fully present in the office. We work in the office every day.
Okay. And I guess, so how do you express like what an ideal wedding planning process looks like, especially because you have so many moving pieces now and a big team?
Mm-hmm. So most of the clients had always been like a year cycle, and that was really normal. Now it's gotten much longer. It's just because of date availability. So I just booked a client last week and the wedding's in 2007, 27. So, it's much further out now, the planning cycle. So we're not constantly planning that whole entire time. We definitely take breaks, but a year is what we always used to see. That's more than enough time for us. It's just finding that ideal date. And our venues in this market are just so amazing. They get booked up really quickly. So, if you want a great date, sometimes you have to go, or you want a closer date, you might have to go for like a Friday or a Sunday. And we see that all the time. And that works out great as well.
Right. I wish all my clients gave me a year.
Yeah. But right. But the whole planning cycle, I mean, we've done some fabulous weddings in 3 months, and that's really fun too, completely different dynamic. So it works really well, and that can be super fun, just a completely different experience.
Absolutely, yeah. So, what do you think is like the most important thing that the couples should look for when they're looking for a wedding planner?
I think experience is really, really important, and not just the owner of the company. If they have other people that work for them, what does that look like? And for us, our team is so experienced. They've all come from either working with me for years and years, starting that way, or coming from past experienced venues or vendors. So having an overall experienced team is really important. Ours is the longest running in the market, so that's something. Feels funny to say how long we've been in business for, but it's definitely a great thing, and we like that. So experience is so much. I think that's really important. And then we have a lot of clients too. I say ask multiple sources where you heard about us and what they think. I encourage them to do that. Ask your venue, ask other vendors what they think of us. And
Mhm.
I love that. I think that's really important. And then I've also had other clients ask, or new clients ask for, can they have referrals from past clients? And we love that as well. So I think we're extremely transparent, and that's really important.
Yeah, I agree. Do you see any common difficulty or challenge that couples face when they're in the planning process? Like, is there something that just repeatedly, like the most common difficulty, and how do you help them get through that?
I mean, not really, because it's a smooth process with us. We handhold and we guide. Things out of our control would always be weather. So
Mhm.
that is something that, can be challenging. This season, it's amazing. We actually had like no rain. It was actually really mild. We didn't really run into any warmer temps until right now. Now it's hot. But it wasn't, it was a really, really great season. Very little rain. But that is definitely one thing that we can't control the weather. Everything else, we pretty much can. So
Yeah.
that's something that comes up. And does it mean that we have bad weather? No, because sometimes it doesn't matter and the weather is just great and we don't have to worry about the alternative plans, but we have to talk about them and make sure that there's really solid plans in place, because most of our venues are outdoors,
Mhm.
being we are so pretty here. So yeah, definitely weather, something that I wish I could control, but I can't.
At least it's only that, right? It's not anything else more
Yeah.
difficult. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, weather is weather, so
Mhm. Yeah, it's always going to happen.
yeah. So, can you tell me, is there a specific valuable lesson that you've learned in your career that kind of resonates with your identity and I don't know, like something that you've learned through your career in the past 16 years?
I mean, I think communication is super important. That's really something that we strive with all of our vendors, is keeping communication really open to make sure that the vendors are on the same page as our clients. And we really advocate for what our clients want. We don't have a cookie cutter experience to how we plan, because all of our clients are so different. So when you look at our work and you look at our photos, we, I think, have an overall style that our clients do tend to lean towards, like a timeless look that isn't overly trendy,
Mhm.
but they're all really different because our clients are different and they have different wants and needs and wishes. So I think we do that, really well, and listen to our clients and be able to help communicate that with vendors. And I think that's just based on experience. Also being available. I feel like we're really available. Weekends get tricky because we're on site, but we're in the office Monday through Friday until we leave for rehearsals. So our communication, like, we're really fast at responding. I think that's really important, and that helps our clients like feel at ease that we've responded quickly, and hopefully the vendors do as well. So just being a team with the vendors is really important.
What keeps you guys all like super passionate about weddings and the industry after, we're talking almost 2 decades, not quite, but almost 2 decades. Like, what
Yeah.
makes you, so excited to get up and do the next one?
So I definitely think it's our clients. They come to us usually, super excited, just coming off an engagement, finding their venue, and they all have different ideas, which we love. That definitely keeps our job more exciting. So we, lean on them about what's the direction they want to go in, because it's their it's their day. We really want to take their vision and bring it to life. So we want to know what are their favorite things, what do they love, what's important to them, and that's different to everyone. So it definitely makes our job so much more fun and interesting and keeps us passionate. And I think we're in a great market too. So we have really great venues. We love working with the venues. We love working with the vendors. And then we're also really lucky that we have a lot of vendors that bring us new ideas too. So a lot of vendor partners that are sending me ideas when they're at shows saying, hey, would your clients like this? Should we buy this product? We custom order a lot too. But that's really great that they lean on us. And then that just makes it more fun. Certainly more fun to do something different with design every weekend. But overall, we constantly are complimented on our clients and how nice they are and caring and fun and sweet. And that just makes it so much easier for us to stay passionate at what we do.
Looking back, is there one particular like wedding or moment that stands out as like memorable or remarkable?
I mean, so many over the years and for different reasons. Some are just really simple and it's because the client was just like so sweet or so meaningful with something that happened in their family because we see clients through different stages in their life and their families as well. So something can be extremely personal and sentimental because of something the family's experienced recently. So them coming together and celebrating is really important and meaningful to them. So that can really hit a different way than the ones too that are just like super over the top and so fun. And we're bringing in a national act and, bopping to the music along with our clients because it's just so fun and great. But so many amazing, memorable experiences for so many different reasons. But it isn't always because we went really over the top and the decor was just the most amazing. It's truly our client experience. And again, like we've had simple weddings and the clients are just so gracious and so incredible. It just makes it so meaningful to us.
Yeah, I think the impact that you're making on these families is just must be like, the most amazing feeling for every single one, but for, like you said, for different reasons. So
Yeah, that does not go unnoticed with us, that we have really, really special clients and we are there for them at this time in their life. It is the most important thing that they've ever done. And we don't take that lightly. And for us to be able to be part of that day and time with them is really exciting. And we love that so much.
yeah, that part of the whole industry is just amazing to make that impact. Okay, I have one last question, and then I want to do a couple of rapid fire questions. And of course, it has to do with the cake. What role do you think the wedding cake plays in the overall experience, and how do you help the couples choose one that fits their day?
Well, it's pretty easy, especially with you, because when the client has a specific look, we're like, it is Julie, and that is 100% her, and you just take it to the next level, and it's just amazing. And we're definitely finding, especially some of the ones that we've had with you this year, that clients are super, super into the cake. I mean, they always have been, but sometimes we find that ebbs and flows just a bit, depending. This year, it's like I think all about the cake, and we've had some really, really incredible cakes. And I think it is really sentimental too to a lot of our clients. We've seen them use toppers that their parents used or a theme with like lace from their dress that you've done. So I think it's just really woven into the wedding. And then a lot of our clients still love the tradition of cutting the cake, and that's something really important to them. And they get these beautiful photos. But I do find it to be really sentimental to a lot of our clients too, that their parents had something on the wedding cake that they love and want to replicate, or their grandparents did. So I love that part of it too. It's not just the cake and that it tastes really delicious. There is a lot of meaningful reasons behind people pick what they do, and they just really love the cake moment.
Yep, I'm all team cake. You know that.
Yeah, us too.
Okay, so a couple of quick questions.
Sure.
Let's see. Best first dance song.
My favorite?
Yeah.
I like a classic. I'm still gonna go with like a classic song. that is just timeless and is not in a current setting at all. I just love like a classic song.
Do you have like a particular favorite?
I don't. I would say probably not At Last because I've heard it like 1,000 times, but something along those lines that just a really classic song that like probably your parents or grandparents would have danced to. Not
Okay.
trending right now, but just something really elegant. I love that.
I don't want to put you in an awkward position, but do you have a favorite wedding venue?
Well, I wouldn't say I do because we have so many in our market, but I have favorites for different reasons. So,
Hmm.
like the Ringling, there's nothing else like it in the world. And having that historic aspect, the ties to Sarasota, I grew up going there in high school. It was abandoned, so we could run in and take pictures. And that's really like a neat part of our history here in Sarasota. I mean, I love we have a Ritz Carlton and a St. Regis. Having that 5-star hotel for our clients, was amazing. I love Longboat Key Club. I love a tented wedding there, which is a completely different experience than you would have at like one of the historic venues. Selby is, special to me because I plan the Orca Ball every year. And just what they've done to the property is incredible. I think Bay Preserve is really sweet and it has that historic feel to it, that, old Florida feel, which is really nice and so private. And then, of course, we have an office in Boca Grande. So that's a very special place to us. That coastal elegance. And usually there's a lot of ties to family there, which is so nice that we love. So I'm sure I've forgotten about venues because we have so many in our market, but to have that many venues in this little market is just incredible. But it's great because if you're going for coastal or elegant, black tie, trendy, whatever it is, we have a venue for you in our market, which is really nice and special.
Yeah. That's part of what I love so much about Sarasota. There's like so much right there, this little bubble.
A little gem here.
If you could plan a celebrity's wedding, who would it be?
Well, probably if you ask the girls that work for me, it's going to be very different because they're, in the younger demographic. I would say Taylor Swift because I have a Swiftie at home. My daughter's 11, and I would be the coolest mom in the whole entire world if I planned her wedding. So I'm going to go with Taylor Swift.
Okay. I want to be right next to you doing the cake when you get
Yeah.
that one.
It would be like
I
the
heard
biggest.
that they're in Florida, right? So
Yeah, I think that they like North Florida, but we would convert them to come to Sarasota.
okay, it's a deal.
Yes.
Okay, do we have time for one more?
Sure.
Favorite wedding tradition?
I like, let's see. I mean, I've been really liking the champagne tower tradition. I think that's like old school. Our grandparents did that. I think the pictures have been turning out really pretty and they're classic and elegant. So I'm going to go with that. I think it's a tradition. It's now a trend, but it started a really long time ago. And we've been doing that for a couple of years now again, but I just think it's really pretty. I love the coupe glasses with it. I also love champagne and I feel like everyone should have champagne at their wedding. So that's it's a fun thing right now.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that, especially like it's definitely tradition. It's a trend, like you said, but it's tradition. And I was going to ask you about trends, but I think we're kind of on the same page with that, like tradition and kind of like for the long haul over trend. I don't know about you, but that's how I
Yeah.
feel.
I think trends too, I mean, you see them for sure in our work and things more like pattern play, textures, layering. We're seeing a lot of that now, which I wouldn't necessarily say is trendy. I think it's just more resources that in our market, we just have a lot more than we ever had before. So we can offer a lot more. When I got married 20 years ago, you could have linens that were black, red, and white, and that was it. And so even 10 years ago, what we're seeing, we plan a lot of siblings weddings. And I'll always say, when your sister got married, we didn't have these options. So every year, we get more options. So I think that's just been not necessarily trendy, but we can just give more options. And I think now too, like big cakes are happening a lot, lots of flowers. So I wouldn't say that's trends, but it's just things that we're seeing a lot more, which is great because who doesn't love a big cake
Right.
and a lot of flowers?
Yeah. Did you see so there's a trend, which I'm happy about. I don't usually love trends, but of these cakes that are like taller than the couple and they have to get on a step ladder to cut them. I'm like, let's do those.
Yeah, I
It'd be
did.
so cool.
Actually, one of our past clients' sister got married in somewhere else this weekend, and I saw her pictures, and they were really pretty. And she had a huge cake. The pictures looked amazing. So I think we should try it. I like it.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you're busy and we're still I'm ramping up my season. You're kind of hopefully able to like take a breath. But I wanted to thank you for joining me today and for sharing some of your story and your insight and a lot of your passion that you bring to every single um, job that you do. Um, for me, you always give me this most beautiful perspective into the planning process. I'm so blown away with what you do. Everything is always flawless. It's always filled with so much heart and emotion, and I really truly love working with you. So thank you for being here. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to Beyond the Cake. If you're newly engaged and planning a wedding in Florida, please check out Nicole's page, and her team is amazing. You can find them at nkproductions.net. Till the next time,
Thanks,
thank
Julie.
you.
Can't wait to see you soon. Thank
See you
you.
soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye.